Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Supreme Bing. Thank you for joining us on another episode. Again, I've been talking about this a lot. I want to handle some stuff real quick here in the beginning. Shout out to Distinguished Agent, which is a new rebranding of Modern Success. I've relaunched everything. I know it's pretty much ready, but you can start heading there. I have some bonuses on the website, briancasellacoaching.com. That's my new website instead of the old one. I'm going to be replacing it on all my social media. Get added to our email list. We have some free bonuses. I have a bunch of new packages. Really rebranding, revamping everything. It's going to be great. I'll be making the official announcement soon. Also, good news. Some of the strikes and demonetization on my original YouTube channel, most of it was lifted. So we're going to be headed back to that. I will keep uploading on Brian Casella 2.0 for those of you who follow, and my podcast channel and everything else. However, my regular uploads will start transitioning back to the main channel that has almost 200,000 subscribers on it. Okay, so let's begin. You have to continuously evolve. We know that as a person. Now we need to put the focal point on your social media and your business because people miss this. You have to understand that what people see and what you show is what they're going to think. Right now I'm running ads for driving people to my Distinguished Agent program. And I get comments. I get stupid comments. I get a vast majority of positive comments, but some are, oh, he moved to Miami and now he coaches, right? Like he moved because of this. Like people have this idea of what they believe to be the situation and what you're doing, right? People also will perceive you based on that. Like a lot of people just see me as a real estate agent. The fact that I'm intelligent or study communication and do all this other stuff, they don't get that. And if I create that type of content, they're going to be like, what the hell? You're a realtor, right? So that goes to show that what you show or what you don't show has a lot to do with how people perceive you. And as much as that doesn't matter because your opinion of yourself is supreme, right? It does matter for running your business and your social media, your marketing, and your branding to a degree. And that's what we're here to discuss today because it's extremely important. So what you're doing, number one, first tip I want to get into, you need to constantly, even if you're not completely changing things, you need to at least let people know and demonstrate to the world that you're evolving and changing with small tweaks in your branding, you adding things, you removing things, you changing your look, right? Things like that. Life itself, your brand, business is dynamic. There's cycles, there's changes. Now you need to be in line with that because that goes to show that you're staying up to date with what's going on, that you're evolving, that you're not stagnating, you're up to the current standard, you're familiar with current events, right? Especially if your industry is kind of tied to that, right? It's even more important that you demonstrate that. Like for the business people and realtors who follow me, you obviously need to demonstrate that you're up to date on what's going on in the world economically and within the real estate market, right? And I think that's one that people miss. A lot of people will shun changes they perceive in me that they don't like, but that's okay. I'm changing. I'm evolving, but I don't hide it from the world. I show it to the world. That means if I'm going through a struggle with my team or myself, I show it. Right? We're about to mastermind right now. I'm leaving here in a few hours. Well, shit, less than 2 hours, right? I'm kind of wrapping up, uploading stuff, filming this stuff, and getting it out of the way before I go because I'll be there for 3 days. But I'm handling all these things, and I'm going to go mastermind with my team. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. I have guest speakers coming, right? I'm going to be doing one-on-ones with a lot of my team members. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What needs to change? What needs to stay the same? And we have to confront those things on a regular basis because as a team, we're a unit, right? And if you didn't know, we did just around 80 million in volume last year, Team BC, right? Nationwide. So very successful. And that's with not a big team, right? And mostly new agents. It's pretty crazy. So the point is personal life, social media, and even what I show. This is demonstrated. Now, what you need to work on is that. I have no problem showing the world basically everything. And now I will have my limits on maybe personal stuff that I don't share, but the vast majority of it is out there. My beliefs, my philosophies, my beliefs and philosophies around like dating, relationships, communication, client relationships, sales, lifestyle, all that is out there. And a lot of people don't agree with some of the stuff. They agree with some of it, but I don't care. But I'm willing to show the world, right? You need to understand that if you start limiting what you show and what you talk about, like so much so that people don't really know anything about you, the perception of you is also going to be limited. So it's like a double-edged sword. Yes, you'll have this inherent feeling that you'll have more privacy, right? But also people have less opportunities to connect with you. They know less about you. They don't feel like they know you. And in some cases, that can lower their trust in you. Again, whether people like me or not, they know so much about me and I'm so transparent. You know what you're getting with me. So let's say you were later to come to an event, sign up for my coaching, do my limitless coaching or something that was significant amount of money. When you got to that point, that decision would be easier because if you start thinking, do I know this person? Are they legit? You know so much about me and I've been an open book for practically 10 years now, right? That's not going to be an issue versus if I'm this new kid on the block and you don't know anything about me, I don't show you anything. All you see is the fancy stuff. You may go through, some gymnastics in your mind. Well, can I trust this dude? What's he about? Is this legit? Right? Because you don't really know enough about me to make that proper assessment and judgment based on the perception of me, meaning what you're seeing, right? So in this process, right, this becomes a magical, we can say, balance of, yes, I'm going to keep doing stuff in my personal life and improving and getting better, but what am I going to show to the world? Because now you have to understand marketing, you have to understand communication, perception, all these things, your brand, what perception you want of the brand, what you want people to think, because then now that becomes a strategy in the game. What am I going to show to get them to upload the right things in their mind while also simultaneously being transparent, honest, and forthcoming? And that's tough for a lot of people. They can't do both. So they pick and choose. They just show edited stuff, Photoshop stuff, fluffy stuff, because they're afraid to show the truth and they don't want people to know the truth. Not a problem with me. I wanted to be an open book from day one. And I still have haters, even though I'm an open book. Oh, like back in the day, oh, you leased that house. Well, dude, I said I leased that house from the beginning. How come you don't bring up the fact that I've shown you and demonstrated that I own now 8 properties that I rent out? If I wanted to be that tough guy and flex, I could. And say, motherfucker, all you haters and most of the people who follow me, I make more off my one stream of income, which is my rental incomes, than you guys make in your job and all your income streams put together. If I wanted to be the asshole, I could, right? But I'm showing you, even being upfront, honest, and transparent, people are still going to shit on you. And that's okay. But that's a small minority. But I'm giving you an insight in what's going to happen. But the payoff is tremendous. I have loyal customers, friends. My brand is huge. I'm now starting to really invest in my businesses and take it and scale it. But everything up to now has been 100% organic, guys. Growth on my YouTube, the people on my programs, right? I've made millions of dollars, real estate and non-real estate. And that was organic. That's fantastic. I don't know many people at all, if any, who built that up organically like me and not having massive teams or running ads and reinvesting a lot of money back into those businesses to promote and advertise their brand. I'm just starting to do that now and hire people to sell my stuff and really push at that level. We hit that crossroads finally. And you will too eventually. But when we take a look at the step before that, if you follow me for a long time, I've shown the world and demonstrated I've developed and grown and changed and gotten better, right? And I've shown it to the world. What is stopping you from doing it? Right? Because if you want to grow as a brand on social media and you want to grow your business, even in real life, you have to show it. People have to hear from you. You have to be seen. They have to be talking to you and your team. Your brand has to be out there. You can't be the secret brand or secret agent if you follow me and you're a real estate agent. Come on. We have to break out of that. You have to understand that you need to be a better, different version of yourself in that world. The business world and branding and marketing is a different world than the personal one. It has its own rules. It has its own reality. So even if you don't agree with it or, hey, my personal life is different, that's fine. But you need to play that game correctly because there's rules to that game, right? And we let our emotions get in the way, which is what's being pushed right now as the status quo. Oh, it's all about how you feel and all that. No, it's not. You're in for a life of perpetual suffering if you go based on that. Let me tell you, not only from the old ancient teachings and scripts and scriptures and wisdom, right, that we can refer to, whether the old authors, figures in the past, but also through real life demonstration. Different games have different rules. It's like the old saying, don't get mad at the player, get mad at the game. If you are going to get mad, but understand it, because even you being mad at it isn't going to change anything. Okay? So understand, right, as we're opening up this topic a little bit more, when your brand stays the same for so long, unless you're already Pepsi and all that and those huge brands, you stagnate, right? old, right? Old, you're a dud, you're old school, right? Like, even those big brands, not on a big scale, but they revamp their marketing, their image, right? Their messaging. It changes slightly, even though the core may stay the same because they understand this principle. What are you doing to show your ability to be dynamic in that? The way you dress, the way you speak, you carry yourself, your style of video, the topics, things that you're learning and developing and reading, right? How you're upgrading your business, how you're upgrading things about you. What are you showing to the world, though? Because you may be doing that in your personal life, which I applaud. And this also applies to a lot of people in my coaching and close to me. You guys need to step up too, because a lot of you are doing great things. You just don't vocalize it enough. You vocalize it great in our group and in our private lectures and lessons and every Sunday night when we do our calls, right? And it's cool to have 50, 60, 70, 80 people on a live call doing that. But you got to do it outside of that group too. That's just the first step to get you used to doing this and getting that emotion, energy, and motion, right? Remember, that's how it's perceived. Still the same, again, unless you're $1 billion brand that the whole world knows, this person, they might be old, they might be out, right? And some people think that about me, maybe, because I stopped posting on my original YouTube channel, right? And that's fine. I'm on all the platforms and I'm really pushing hard. And I still push a lot of stuff. I've just had to deal with censorship, right? Which some people haven't, but that's okay. Some people are going to think that inevitably. However, in action, you can't say that because if you still follow me, you see I post so regular and so often, right? But you have to take that power into your own hands and say, okay, let's take a look at this thing and see it for what it is. And I need to start playing this game properly because this is the growth and development kind of curve for a brand. And once you get in the habit and you make this ritualistic to do this regularly, you'll add it into your meetings, you'll do reviews, and you'll make this a strong foundational component of you and your brand and your marketing, which is what you need. Then it's not all this work and effort like it was when it was new. It just becomes a thing that you do. And when everything that composes your brand and your marketing and your strategy is things that are correct that you're supposed to do, that now you do regularly, all you got to do is keep the machine well oiled and you're good to go. You don't have to be pulled and tugged 50,000 different ways. You just need to make sure that what you're doing is efficient. Okay. So that's it for this one, guys. I wanted to keep this one short and sweet. We're about to hit the road here in about an hour. Appreciate the support. Remember, BrianCasellaCoaching.com. Get on our email list. Pretty soon here, you're going to be able to schedule a call with someone from Team BC to discuss your future, your strategies, and how we can help you. Okay. That's it for this one. See you on the next episode. Peace.